All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you are having a good morning so far. Ooh, that was a sluggish start. Anyways, good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to check out this video here, and this wasn't recommended or suggested or anything, I don't think, at least. But I wanted to watch this, and I was really close to just watching this last night while just chilling. But you know what? I figured, okay, here's the deal. It's gonna be a three-parter. So this is what I'm gonna react to for the entire day. I'm gonna split it up into three pieces. One now, one afternoon, and one for the after dark. Reason is, this is an hour-long video. So, yeah. I figured this is a good way to do things when, because a lot of videos that are suggested to me or that I wanna react to are about at the hour mark. And these are some of the best videos that are out there. So I figured this is the best way to go about it, you know. So I mean, if I were to do like a 2-hour reaction to this video, yeah, it would crash and burn real fast. There would only be a handful of people that actually watch it. But if I break it down, hopefully that is more realistic for people's time. But speaking of time, let's get to this. I'm gonna link the original video down below in the description. This is from a channel called JZ Uncut. And guys, we're in another one of those situations here. 5.25 thousand subscribers, so a smaller channel. And this is a hell of a long video. It's called The Greatest Era in NBA History, entire 2000s recap. So if you guys like the channel, I highly suggest you subscribe. I am doing so right now, and if I change my mind later, I change my mind. But anyways, you guys, the link will be down below in the description for you if you want to check it out. You'll also see a list of channel members. Shout out channel members. I appreciate y'all. Let's kick back, enjoy this one, and yeah, here we go.
The 2000s. A time when you had to rewind DVDs, your phone flipped instead of scrolled.
We did not have to rewind DVDs.
And what about these things? My fingers still hurt just thinking about them. I'm 27, and people around my age love to talk about the 2000s. Whether it's the music, the fashion, the tech, or the culture, everyone remembers that era fondly. But for some reason, the NBA from that time never gets mentioned in the same breath. It's rarely a part of the nostalgia. And honestly, that doesn't make much sense. So let's break it down.
It doesn't to me either, honestly. The 2000s is tied with the best era, the second best era to me. Basically, it goes 90s is the best, in my opinion. 2000s and the 80s, I give them a tie for second place. Great eras of basketball.
NBA themselves don't celebrate this decade. It gets overshadowed by the legends of the 90s and drowned out by the numbers that came after. Most people overlook it without ever realizing how much actually happened, or how much the league transformed during that time. But ignoring it means missing one of the most unforgiving stretches the league has ever seen. This was the decade where everything changed, even if nobody wants to talk about it. The stars who built the league were gone, and the ones who would define the next generation were just getting started. The game slowed down, the scores dropped, the league turned defensive, gritty, and unforgiving. It wasn't flashy, it definitely was not marketable, and it wasn't made for the casual fans.
Well, I mean, I appreciate this era because it was a big question mark, like how is the NBA going to be post Michael Jordan, you know? And honestly, the 2000s did great. I mean, we're looking around at a cast of stars here that just... The torch was being carried very well during those 10 years. It wasn't until it wasn't until 2010 where I feel like the decline started.
The dead ball era. And they say that like it was a bad thing.
I loved it.
But the players in this era didn't just play basketball. They fought for every point, every rebound, and every piece of respect. You couldn't hide behind a hot shooting night or launch threes until something fell. You had to earn everything through contact, through chaos, through a game that gave away nothing for free. This isn't the NBA that you see in documentaries, but maybe that's exactly why it matters. Because if you watched it, you knew it was real. And now, it's time we tell the story. This is a full NBA recap of the 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, like over the last 10 years, it's been more about finesse. You know, teams with finesse are the biggest contenders. Back then, it was about toughness still.
Jordan's departure had left an undeniable void. After the previous year's shortened and frustrating lockout season, basketball desperately needed a revival. In response, teams across the league made bold moves. The Los Angeles Lakers, coming off disappointing playoff exits, hired legendary coach Phil Jackson, signaling not just a fresh start, but a shift in culture. Jackson, who's known for managing star personalities, faced a challenge with Shaquille O'Neal, dominant yet ringless, and Kobe Bryant, the brash-driven 21-year-old eager to prove himself.
Yep.
The Lakers aimed not merely for improvement, they sought championships. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, Indiana understood their championship window was closing. Led by veteran sharpshooter Reggie Miller and head coach Larry Bird, the Pacers, who had endured years of playoff frustration, felt an urgency unlike ever before. Complemented by the leadership of Mark Jackson and the rising talent of Jalen Rose, Indiana was determined to finally break through. Teams like the Portland Trail Blazers emerged as formidable threats. Portland quietly assembled one of the deepest rosters in NBA history. With veterans like Scottie Pippen, Rasheed Wallace, Steve Smith, and Arvydas Sabonis, they posed the most serious obstacle to the Lakers' ambitions. But the season wasn't without its disappointments. The Chicago Bulls, once the pinnacle of basketball excellence, descended into absolute turmoil after dismantling their championship squad. Although rookie Elton Brand provided a glimmer of hope, earning co-rookie of the year honors alongside the electrifying Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets, it wasn't enough to stop Chicago's dramatic fall. As the season progressed, Vince Carter transformed
By
Toronto.
the way, shout out to Elton Brand, dude. That dude could hoop. If you hadn't seen him with the Clippers, dude.
Must-watch basketball. Every night he defied gravity, igniting arenas with spectacular dunks and unbelievable athleticism. His performance at the 2000 Slam Dunk Contest became legendary, redefining basketball spectacle for a new generation.
He single-handedly brought back this dunk contest, and it's never been the same since he's left. Blake Griffin gave us a couple of years there.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Yet, the real drama unfolded during the playoffs. Indiana overcame their bitter rival, the New York Knicks, in a heated Eastern Conference Finals, punching their ticket to their first ever NBA Finals and fulfilling a long-awaited promise to their loyal fans. In the West, the Lakers and Blazers collided in an epic 7-game series. Portland seemed destined for victory, holding a commanding 15-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 7. But the Lakers, buoyed by Shaq's dominance and Kobe's relentless determination, mounted a historic comeback. The defining moment came when Kobe drove into traffic and, well,
Have two.
Opa.
To Shaq.
that single play didn't just clinch the game. It marked the beginning of a dynasty.
Yeah, it
the
did.
NBA Finals saw Indiana's grit pitted against LA's star power. Shaq was unstoppable, dominating the paint on both ends of the floor and capturing the Finals MVP.
All right, guys, let's do it in the comments real quick. If Portland would have won and the championship would have been Portland versus Indiana, who you got? I think I got Indiana.
Kobe Bryant, despite a severe ankle injury in Game 2, delivered a defining performance in Game 4. After Shaq fouled out in overtime, Kobe calmly took control, hitting
By the way, fouled out with...
in Game 4. After Shaq
Is that 36 points and 21 rebounds? I can't tell because it's cut off.
fouled out in overtime, Kobe calmly took control, hitting critical jumpers, famously singling to teammates, "I got this." In 6 fiercely contested games, the Lakers secured the NBA title. Shaq's Finals MVP award was a coronation. He averaged one of the craziest stat lines I have ever seen. 38 points and 17 rebounds while shooting 61% from the field.
If Shaq could have just done that for his whole career, man. Dude, the stories we'd be telling about him.
Officially cementing his status as the league's most dominant player ever.
Yep.
Earlier in the season,
That
he
was
had
probably the most dominant year we've ever seen in NBA. Well, at least I've ever seen in NBA history. I've never seen a force like that version of Shaq. He was so hungry for that ring.
also claimed the league MVP, making this year undeniably his own. While Shaq earned praise on offense, the defensive side belonged to Miami Heat's Alonzo Mourning, who won Defensive Player of the Year. Mourning anchored Miami's tough physical play, embodying the defensive-minded nature of this era. For Indiana, despite heartbreak, Jalen Rose's remarkable improvement did not go unnoticed, earning him Most Improved Player honors. But the lingering image remained. Reggie Miller, once again denied, walking off the court in disappointment.
Yep.
His legacy secure, but still incomplete without that championship ring.
100%.
This season signified more than just basketball. It was a year of passing torches, heroes emerging, and teams rising from despair to glory. The Lakers laid the foundation for greatness. Indiana demonstrated resilience, and players like Vince Carter and Kobe Bryant announced their stardom loudly and clearly. As Shaq lifted that championship trophy, it marked not just the end of a season, but the birth of a thrilling new chapter in NBA history. One defined by fierce rivalries, unforgettable moments, and legends stepping fully into their greatness. As the 2000-2001 season began, the NBA found itself entering new territory. The offseason had seen significant shifts, narratives had changed, expectations had grown, and the drama was building. Orlando had made headlines by bringing in Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill, a bold attempt to craft a new super team in the East. But what started
Tim Duncan was supposed to be there too.
His optimism quickly turned into frustration. Grant Hill's continued ankle injuries would plague him severely, leaving McGrady, a young star fresh from Toronto, to lead alone. While fans expected greatness, the Magic ended up battling mediocrity, learning the painful lesson that star power means little if health can't sustain it. Meanwhile, Patrick Ewing, the iconic center who had defined the New York Knicks for nearly 15 years, was dealt to Seattle.
I know, that always feels weird seeing him in a Sonics jersey.
It wasn't just a trade. It was symbolic, marking the definitive end to an era. Now older and limited by injuries, Ewing was clearly in the twilight of his career. But his departure from New York still felt surreal, leaving Knicks fans with uncertainty and nostalgia.
Can you guys tell me how that went down, by the way? Was that Patrick Ewing wanting a shot at a championship, so he asked for a trade? Or did the Knicks just get rid of him?
2000 draft was widely viewed as weak, yet Mike Miller quietly impressed in Orlando, showing promise and earning Rookie of the Year honors. Still, compared to previous drafts, the NBA saw fewer immediate franchise-altering talents emerge, keeping the focus on established stars and teams. As the regular season unfolded, one team emerged to challenge the Lakers' dominance: the Philadelphia 76ers, led by Allen Iverson. Iverson wasn't just scoring, he was a cultural phenomenon, embodying grit and determination on every possession. With Coach Larry Brown instilling defensive intensity and newly acquired Dikembe Mutombo anchoring the paint, Philadelphia soon became the gritty embodiment of a blue-collar city desperate for victory. In the West, while the Lakers started strong, underlying tension between Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal resurfaced frequently.
But the differences between...
Who are you guys rooting for there? I was obviously rooting for Philly.
Kobe and Shaq always simmered beneath the surface. And this week, the feud boiled over.
Reports of clashes at practice and post-game disputes added intrigue and drama to their quest for another title. The Lakers' biggest threat appeared to be themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
But Los Angeles wasn't the only story out west. The Sacramento Kings began making noise. Led by Chris Webber's silky smooth offense and Jason Williams' flashy passing, Sacramento emerged as a legitimate contender, quickly becoming fan favorites and hinting at greatness to come. Disappointment plagued Portland once again. Despite their talent-heavy roster, the Jailblazers struggled with locker room turmoil. Rasheed Wallace's fiery temperament repeatedly boiled over into technical fouls, ejections, and suspensions. Scottie Pippen, nearing the end of his legendary career, struggled to unify a fractured roster. After the previous season's near miss, fans expected redemption. Instead, Portland fell short of expectations, leaving their future uncertain. As All-Star Weekend arrived, the league turned its attention to Allen Iverson once more. The Eastern Conference, trailing big, made an electrifying comeback behind Iverson's relentless hustle and clutch shots. His performance earned him the All-Star Game MVP. It was Iverson sending a message to the league about his readiness to lead on the big stage. The playoffs became a stage of intense competition and memorable storylines. The Lakers, finally overcoming their regular season struggles, stormed through the Western Conference playoffs, sweeping every series against Portland, Sacramento, and yeah, even Tim Duncan's Spurs. Their dominance was impressive. Shaq seemed unstoppable, and Kobe displayed relentless poise and clutch moments. The tension between the two stars faded into the background as winning took priority.
By the way, an interesting question was brought to me in the comments, and I want to present it to you guys. You know who you are. The question was, are there any like big twos, like Shaq, Kobe, Jordan, Pippen, like all these things, dynamic duos that actually got along? And I mean, like if we're taking into context, like still to this day, still like each other. It was on that Russell Westbrook and KD video that I reacted to. And the only one I could really think of was like Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now that more time has gone by, I can think of like Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. If that counts, I count it. But I was really struggling to think of any others. So let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Some other dynamic duos that they actually got along while they were doing it, and then they respected each other when it was all said and done.
The Eastern Conference playoffs were a stark contrast. Filled with intensity, drama, and close-fought battles, Iverson's 76ers faced numerous challenges, and each series became more grueling than the last. After dispatching Reggie Miller's Pacers, Philly encountered Vince Carter's Toronto Raptors in one of the most thrilling playoff battles of all time. Carter and Iverson traded spectacular scoring performances game after game. It culminated in a legendary Game 7 in Philadelphia.
And imagine if T-Mac didn't leave and T-Mac was there.
Decided only by Carter's final buzzer-beating shot that rimmed out.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it when he went to like his college graduation or something like that? Like the same day, and then he flew in to play this game?
Waiting next were Ray Allen and the Milwaukee Bucks. A talented, underrated team that pushed Iverson's Sixers to the limit yet again. Controversial calls, intense physical play, and Iverson's unwavering resolve characterized the series, eventually won by Philadelphia in just 7 games. The Sixers emerged exhausted, but determined. Iverson had elevated his legend yet again, ready to face the Lakers. The 2001 NBA Finals pitted the star-studded Lakers, seemingly unbeatable, against the battle-weary yet defiant Sixers. Game 1 became one of the most iconic playoff performances in history, and I don't say that lightly. Allen Iverson poured in 48 unforgettable points. The Sixers' stunning victory provided hope, but reality quickly set in. The Lakers regrouped swiftly. Shaq dominated the paint against Mutombo's defensive prowess, and Kobe delivered timely baskets.
Yeah, that's the difference between one man on a mission versus a dynamic duo. The duo is going to win out.
Los Angeles won the next 4 games.
But man, shout out to Allen Iverson, giving the Lakers their only playoff loss that year.
Claiming their 2nd straight championship. Shaq once again earned the finals MVP, averaging 33 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks. For Iverson, the finals ended in disappointment, but also pride. He'd captured the MVP award earlier in the season, not merely because of his scoring, but because of his relentless spirit and ability to inspire an entire city. Dikembe Mutombo was named Defensive Player of the Year for anchoring Philly's rugged defense. Also, Iverson's teammate Aaron McKie won 6th Man of the Year, while Tracy McGrady's breakout season in Orlando earned him the Most Improved Player honors. As the Lakers celebrated the repeat championship, the season's lasting legacy went far beyond titles. Iverson had transformed into an enduring icon. Sacramento had proven their readiness for future battles. Portland had learned that talent alone just wasn't enough. And Orlando realized potential doesn't guarantee success.
And we're gonna get another one next year.
Quick side note, if you guys are enjoying the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It would really help me reach my goal of 10,000 subs. Also follow my Twitch where I stream Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. That, as well as my Discord server, is linked down below. Anyways, back to the video. Heading into the 2001-2002 NBA season, a dynasty loomed on the horizon. The Los Angeles Lakers, fresh off back-to-back championships, seemed unstoppable. Yet beneath their strength, the growing tension between Shaq and Kobe quietly simmered. 2 towering egos, both convinced of their own importance, each eager to stake their claim as the franchise's heart and soul. While the Lakers chased history, the rest of the league searched desperately for answers. In the offseason, the Dallas Mavericks, led by owner Mark Cuban's
I swear, egos are so funny to me, because the easy logic was, we need both of you at your peaks in order to win. Not one of you, not either or. We need both of you. You're both equally important. But they said they couldn't see it that way. They couldn't see it. They were just too busy battling on who's more important. It's a shame.
Added veteran Tim Hardaway to complement Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash. They hoped to prove themselves as legitimate contenders. Sacramento, still stinging from last year's sweep by the Lakers, added toughness and defensive presence in Doug Christie and Bobby Jackson, strengthening their bench depth to match their dynamic starting core. In the Eastern Conference,
I don't remember Tim Hardaway playing on the Mavericks. Was he coming off the bench then at that point for Nash, or did they find a way to run a 2-point guard system?
New Jersey quietly transformed overnight.
One good reason for the amazing turnaround, the acquisition of Jason Kidd.
After years of mediocrity, the Nets acquired Jason Kidd from Phoenix in exchange for Stephon Marbury. Kidd instantly turned New Jersey into the league's most exciting show, orchestrating a dazzling fast break attack. His impact was immediate, not only improving the Nets' record dramatically, but also instilling newfound confidence in a franchise desperate for respect. Meanwhile, disappointment festered in Milwaukee. After coming tantalizingly close to the finals the previous season, Ray Allen, Glenn Robinson, and Sam Cassell were talented but frustrated. Rumors swirled about internal conflicts, defensive lapses, and questionable team chemistry. The Bucks' regression puzzled fans and analysts alike, reinforcing how quickly championship windows can slam shut. The Washington Wizards captivated headlines differently. Michael Jordan emerged from retirement yet again, trading his executive office for one final run on the hardwood.
Yep.
Fans packed arenas nationwide, hoping to catch a glimpse of MJ's fading greatness. Though older and diminished physically, Jordan still showcased occasional brilliance, reminding the basketball world of his unmatched competitive fire. Amid these shifting dynamics, the 2001 NBA draft introduced future superstars. Kwame Brown was controversially selected first by Washington, though his early struggles quickly overshadowed his potential. Pau Gasol quietly began building his legacy in Memphis, earning
I stand by it, though. He's not a bust. He played like, 12, 13 seasons. Did he live up to expectations? Hell no, he didn't. But he's not the one who set those expectations. You know? He ended up being a basketball player in the best league in the world. And he didn't just do it for 1 year. He did it for more than 10 years.
The year honors with polished post play and versatility. Tony Parker's arrival in San Antonio went largely unnoticed initially, but the Spurs had uncovered a gem. His speed and skill promised a bright future alongside Timmy D. Throughout the regular season, the Lakers encountered unexpected turbulence. Shaq battled minor injuries while Kobe saw a more prominent role. Friction became public, sparking rumors about the team's stability. Yet, when it mattered the most, they showed their resilience, securing a strong playoff position. Kobe elevated his game nightly, determined to establish himself not just as Shaq's teammate, but as his equal. As All-Star Weekend arrived in Philadelphia, hometown hero Allen Iverson enjoyed a memorable weekend despite a quieter regular season. But the star of the weekend was Kobe Bryant, returning to his hometown amid mixed cheers and boos. Kobe's All-Star Game MVP performance served as a powerful reminder. He was no longer just a rising talent, but a superstar in his own right, ready to define his own legacy. The playoffs arrived with unprecedented anticipation. Jason Kidd led New Jersey's Cinderella run through the postseason, sweeping aside teams that had overlooked them for years. Kidd's leadership transformed the Nets' identity. They defeated Indiana and Charlotte convincingly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That era of the New Jersey Nets was fun, and then as you'll see later, it ends up getting even more fun.
Setting up a conference final showdown with a resurgent Boston Celtics, spearheaded by Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. The Nets ended up surviving a thrilling 6-game battle, punching their ticket to the finals for the first time in their franchise history. But the story everyone was really focused on was unfolding in the West. The Lakers cruised through early rounds, but waiting for them in the conference finals was their greatest test yet. Sacramento. Chris Webber,
no.
Mike Bibby, and Paige.
Shout out to Kings in the comments if you're watching this. Sorry about what's about to come. I wasn't happy about this either. You know how I feel about this.
Stojakovic had turned Sacramento into basketball's most potent offense. The Kings, desperate for revenge, had captured the league's best record and top seed. And now they had the chance to finally dethrone the reigning champs. The series instantly became an all-time classic, filled with controversy, intensity, and unforgettable moments. After trading victories, Game 4 reached a dramatic climax. With seconds left and the Lakers trailing by 2, Robert Horry etched himself deeper into the NBA lore.
From a pass from Vlade Divac, ex-Laker. What are you going to do?
Sacramento
Freaking
rallied again,
basketball.
claiming Game 5, but Game 6 became infamous, marred by controversial officiating decisions that heavily favored Los Angeles. With tension peaking, Game 7 proved equally unforgettable. Overtime drama, missed free throws, and clutch plays defined every possession. Ultimately, the Lakers escaped with victory, securing their finals appearance and leaving Sacramento heartbroken and bitterly disappointed. In the finals, New Jersey stood as heavy underdogs against the Los Angeles Lakers dynasty. Kidd's relentless energy and leadership gave the Nets belief, but they were ultimately overwhelmed by Shaq's dominance inside and Kobe's ruthless efficiency. The Lakers swept the series comfortably, capturing their 3rd consecutive championship. Shaq claimed his 3rd straight finals MVP, solidifying his legendary status. However, Tim Duncan quietly earned league MVP honors after a stellar regular season with San Antonio. His excellence was overshadowed by playoff disappointments, but he remained basketball's model of consistency. Detroit's Ben Wallace captured Defensive Player of the Year, embodying the Pistons' emerging toughness and defensive identity. Also, Jermaine O'Neal is finally blossoming in Indiana. He won the Most Improved Player award, signaling his arrival as a genuine star. As confetti fell once more in Los Angeles, the NBA knew it had witnessed something special. This was the last time an NBA franchise won 3 straight titles.
And the crazy thing is we were so spoiled and used to three-peats at that point because the Bulls did it twice in the 90s. And then we didn't even get like a break because the last championship was in 98. And then within 2 years, the next three-peat starts. and that's with the Lakers once again with Phil freaking Jackson. So at that point, like, three-peats were just like, oh, another one. But the thing is it's only been done once, right? Once, and that was from the Bill Russell Celtics. So that was the only time it happened before these 3 times that we know so well, and it's never happened since. So it really is rare. But I grew up watching 3 of these things.
Who knows if this stat will ever happen again? Cade, I believe in you, man.
I don't know. Do you guys, I mean, nowadays, it seems like a team can't last, with the contract situations. A team can't stay together for more than a couple of years. So the idea of winning 3 straight championships in a row, I don't know if we're going to see it. I mean, I think a lot of things are going to have to change in the league before we ever see anything like that again.
Number 3. What you trying to get for? Love you.
As the NBA prepared for the 2002-2003 season, the league stood on shifting sands. The Lakers had dominated basketball, capturing 3 consecutive championships. Their dynasty seemed poised to continue indefinitely. But beneath the surface, as I mentioned before, Shaq and Kobe's relationship was strained, injuries began taking their toll, and their rivals sensed vulnerability. Teams across the league aggressively retooled. Sacramento, still haunted by their bitter playoff defeat, fortified their roster by re-signing Mike Bibby, while the Dallas Mavericks made a statement by trading for talented scorer Nick Van Exel to bolster their explosive offense led by Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash. But the boldest offseason move came from San Antonio. They committed fully to their young guard Tony Parker, entrusting him to support Tim Duncan, now the undisputed leader following David Robinson's announcement that this season will be his farewell. The Eastern Conference, still lacking a clear leader, saw significant shakeups. Detroit, embodying toughness and defensive grit, added veteran guard Chauncey Billups to pair with Ben Wallace and Rip Hamilton. The Pistons were quietly building a squad capable of grinding out wins. Meanwhile, Boston struggled to maintain their momentum from the previous year, losing key defensive presence Rodney Rogers, raising questions about their long-term plans surrounding Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. The league itself underwent some critical changes and aimed at enhancing offensive play and pace. Notably, the NBA officially eliminated illegal defensive rules. They fully adopted the zone defense strategies. This fundamental shift meant that offenses could no longer rely solely on ISO plays. The game became strategically more complex and tactically engaging, marking the start of a new era in basketball philosophy. The 2002 NBA draft introduced electrifying talents who could reshape the league. Yao Ming arrived in Houston amid enormous hype, becoming not just a rookie sensation but a global ambassador for basketball. His graceful, versatile play quickly silenced skeptics who questioned if he could handle the NBA physicality. Phoenix unearthed a gem late in the first round by drafting Amari Stoudemire. His explosive athleticism and raw power electrified fans, injecting energy into a franchise that's hungry for success. And of course, Michael Jordan has entered his second year of his comeback with the Wizards. He continued drawing massive crowds, with every game feeling like a farewell tour. Still though, Washington's struggles lingered. Even Jordan's determination couldn't lift the franchise from mediocrity. The regular season saw the Lakers stumble out of the gate. Injuries limited Shaq's impact very early on, placing greater responsibility on Kobe's shoulders. While Bryant thrived individually, tensions rose within the team, and the Lakers struggled to maintain any sort of consistency. Suddenly, the Western Conference appeared wide open for the first time in a long time. And
I think that's a perfect time to stop it for part 1. Wow, he's going at a breakneck pace, so I'm doing my best to keep up with it. But this is actually a really good breakdown of the 2000s so far. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I'm going to come back with part 2 and part 3 later today. In the meantime, I will see you guys in the comments. I'm not going to do a long intro because it's a 3-parter. So, yep, I am out of here for now, you guys. I'll see you all in the comments. And hopefully I'll see you back for part 2. And like I said, consider subscribing to the channel down here, which is JZ Uncut, if you're having a good time. And yeah, be water, my friends. I'll see you soon.